Okay, so I am the middle child. I have an older brother, Robbie, and I have a younger sister, Lori. I have two amazing parents that have been married. I think that's going on 54 years now. I had a magical childhood. I have the best parents. We were, I guess, upper middle class. I went to Reese Road Elementary School for middle school, and then I went to Hardaway. Christmases were always really special. We ate dinner every single night as a family. If my brother had ball practice, we all went to support him. If my sister had a dance recital, we all went to the dance recital. Just very supportive, loving, good Christian family. I grew up in church every Sunday, every Wednesday, vacation Bible school, all the things. Just a really, really special childhood. I often tell my parents even now that I just feel like it was magical almost. It was just really, really great. I got married at 28, and then before we were married, we had slowed down, and Jackson's father, Robbie, and I, we weren't really doing drugs anymore. We got married. That was really good. And then right after, 2 weeks after we were married, I got pregnant with my son, Jackson. So, praise God, that was just the most amazing, amazing time. Obviously, I was clean. We both were. We were just living the dream. I was giggling all the time when I was pregnant. I had wanted a child so badly. And I just had the best pregnancy. I just had the best outlook. We had bought a home. It was just a fairy tale for me. I had a minivan. I was the little mother's morning out. It was just me and Jack. I didn't work. I was blessed to stay home with him. So we did the public library. I would take him, to all the little mommies mornings out. And, just always, it was just me and Jack. We did a lot of things together, and I would cook dinner, and Robbie would come home, and, we had a dog and a cat, and just were doing really, really well. And then I went to a friend's house, and I think Jackson was right at almost 5 years old, and they were smoking pot. And I was like, oh man, I used to love weed. It's just weed. Let me just have a little bit of weed. And so that opened the can for me. So I was clean totally for about 6 years. And then when I smoked that marijuana, eventually, I don't remember how much time, but it ended up leading back to, we'll just do a little bit of this meth and smoke a little weed on the weekends. And then I started smoking cigarettes again because I'd quit for many years. And then I was hiding even the cigarettes from Jackson. I used to step out on the back porch, and I will never forget one time him catching me, and he was just crying and was so upset. And then it progressively got worse. This is when it gets hard. Sorry. As good of a mom as I was, drugs took that from me. And that's really hard for me to admit, but it did. So I started where it was just like a weekend thing, and then it was only like maybe if my parents or someone else had Jackson. But then it started to be where it just progressively took over mine and Robbie's life, where we would like shut my son outside for us to get high. It's really hard. We decided to split up. So Jackson and I went to go live with my mom and dad, who were gracious enough to, take us both in. And then I still wasn't ready. I had been with Robbie for basically about 20 years, just with him alone. So I kind of went wild. My Jack was safe with my parents, and I'm thinking I'm being a good mom because I know he's being well taken care of, but he wanted his mom. He loves my parents, but he wanted his mom. But I would leave him and sneak out at night when we lived downstairs in Maple Ridge with my parents. And I would think he's fine. My parents are upstairs. He's safe. And, Jackson and I have talked about this some, that it was like really traumatizing for him to get up at night. And then I would like tell him, don't tell mom and dad. Because, I was not supposed to be doing that. I would just leave and then go out and hang out with people. I picked men over Jackson. I picked just partying over him. Dope just took my soul from me. Jack's dad had actually introduced me to Jeff at the time. We were all using at that time. And then Robbie ends up getting clean. And then Jeff and I stay clicked up, and then we move into some friend's house, and then we just use dope. There towards the end, 2018, at the end of 2018, I used to just can remember being in the bedroom with Jeff and like literally crying while we were getting high. We both wanted to change our life so bad, we just didn't want to do it anymore, but we didn't know how to stop. So, I got a year clean and then relapsed, and then Jeff and I used dope again for, 2 long years before we finally got clean when he got in DRC program. And he begged his mom. He was like, look, Mom, he said, I've got this, I've got this program, and I've got the chance to get clean. And if I stay at the house that Ginger and I are staying in now, I'm never going to make it. We're going to keep getting high. Please let us come stay with you. So we begged his mom, Jewel, and God bless her. She was like, these are the rules, and she allowed me to come there too, which again was a strain on her, but she just said, you can go to meetings and you can go to church and you can go to class, and that's what we did. And Jeff went to work, and I mean, we stuck with it, and we got clean. And 2019, January 30th, 2019, we got clean, and we just lived in meetings. But the one thing that was really missing is, and I know now, is that I hadn't really surrendered to God. Like I was always had a really strong faith. I spoke about growing up in church, and like I've never questioned God, and I knew God was with me the whole time. That's even in addiction, crying out to Him for help. But I just didn't really totally surrender to Him. And then again, so having that 1 year clean, I literally relapsed 2 weeks after my year celebration in 2017. But that ran me into recovery after the relapse, that 2 year relapse that Jeff and I had. And then when he got clean and then I was clean, that ran me into like running for Jesus, because I knew that's what was really missing. Then by me doing the next right thing, my family started to see, wow, this is different. Like Ginger's different this time. Like, she's really different. She's not doing a lot of lip service. I was done with the promises and just, I promised this and I promised that and I'm different. It's all, things like that. They could just see I stopped talking and I just started doing. My parents ended up giving me the key to their house, which is huge. I mean, that still makes me emotional to this day, because I'm not deserving of that. But through through Jesus, I am, because I've asked Him to forgive me. And I've asked my parents over and over to forgive me, and they have, because they've seen that I'm different. And we got my son back, and it was just the most amazing thing. I remember I told Robbie to keep Jackson at his house until I had everything set up, and I remember fussing and over his room. I was so excited. Like, I remember just promising Jack over and over, like, even when I was using, I was like, I'm gonna get you back, and we're gonna have your room. And then finally at the end, he was just like, so done believing me and getting his hopes up. He was like, Mom, you always say that. So I just remember sitting in that room, like on my knees, just crying and thanking God. And I would fluff his pillow and I would hang a picture, and people were so good to us. People just gave us everything, like we had nothing. And it was like we lived in the Taj Mahal. Like Jeff and I were just elated. I remember when we first got it, we laid on the floor like we didn't have furniture or anything. We're like, we made it. Thank you, Jesus, we made it. I was trying to play it really cool. I had everything set up, and then I went to go pick him up, and he walked in first, and I was like, so, what do you think? I was trying to be like real chill about the house and the apartment, and I remember him walking around with his little head, and 2019, and he's kind of looking all around, going up down the hallway, and then his door was shut, and I had like a little sign on his door, and I had all his little guys leaned up, all his figurines and stuff, and I was just like so excited and trying to be really cool. And he opened the door and he kind of looked around. It was like I could see that he was like trying to take in, like, wow, like She really did it. And he went and dove. I'll never forget. He went and dove. After looking around, he just dove. Did a swan dive on his bed. And he said, everything looks really good, Mom. You did great. And I said, thanks, buddy. And I just turned around and walked off and went to my bathroom, and I crumpled in a heap. I didn't want him to see me crying. And I literally just, me and God, boy, we just praised. I was just praising the Lord in that bathroom with my hand over my mouth, trying not to cry where he could hear me. And just got on my knees, and I just kept saying, thank you, Jesus, thank you, thank you. That he just restored and had given me what I had lost and didn't think I would ever get back.